Hello, my name is Cassandra from Pink Lotus Mandala, and today I would like to show you hands and feet sequence from myofascial release. So you will need one or two balls. Those are special myofascial release balls, rad balls. If you don't have them, that's not a problem at all. You can have a tennis ball to replace this one. And if you want the small one, which is a very particular one, and it might be too much when you're doing that first time, I would say one of dog balls kind of thing, when there is harder dog balls, that can replace that. But at the same time, if you are doing this the first time, especially on your feet, I would actually suggest to stick to that ball because it can be very sensitive area. And I remember first time I tried the small ball, it was impossible. Okay, so big or small, whichever ball you have, we're going to start with hands, but I'll invite you to sit down at the beginning. So just sit down, so you can sit down cross-legged or with your legs extended in front of you, or perhaps just on your heels, and just notice to just let go of the balls if you're holding them. Just bring your hands onto your knees, turn the palms down or up, whatever works better for you. Just notice both shoulders, notice your spine. Notice how your neck is and how you're grounding through the sit bones. Okay, we're going to start with the hands. So we will go for a few points, and before we move, I would like you to remember and just keep it in mind that we are going for medium pressure. So we are not trying to press in and go out to the other end, other side of the hand. We are going for medium pressure until the end, when we're going to go for completely slight pressure, almost no pressure at all. So for the hands, just find a way that's most comfortable for you to sit. And the good thing is, for the hand one, you can do this at the office on your desk if you want to break during the daytime. And you'll notice how it can be quite reviving. So if you're using the big ball or the small ball, the first thing we're going to go for is the center. So just the center of the palm, complete center of the palm. Bring it in there, press in, and release, and press in, and release, and press in, and release. Then we're going to go to the pinky pad. So just the pad just under the pinky. Under your thumb, thumb pad, just the pad under the thumb, even. And once again, press and release a few times. So I'm using my other hand just to gently press. So I'm still going for medium pressure. There's no pain, especially with the big ball. You might not feel that much. Then you're going to move to the pinky pad. Similarly, press and release. A few times. Okay, and then what we're going to do is kind of draw a little smiley face. So between that pinky pad and this thumb pad and the pinky pad, the ball is going to be going from side to side in a little smiley face. And what you want to have is your fingers anchored on the floor or in your mat, okay? So you might find it a bit awkward doing that with a big ball. So as I said, if you have a smaller ball from like literally cat to dog ball would work for that. I'll show you when I'm doing the other hand. I'll do it with a small ball. Okay, now we're going to bring that ball in between, so it's a complete center between the pinky pad and thumb pad. Just press in, and the last bit here is going to go back to the pinky, to the thumb pad, and you're going to do cross fibering here. So what you want to do, I'm going to come onto my heels there, and I'm going to press that thumb pad in, and I'm going to either wriggle my thumb, or I'm going to really anchor through my fingers and just make little movements, sharp movements, squibbling around a bit, just the thumb pad. Then I'm going to mobilize the joint. So I'm going through from the big joint. It doesn't really matter which direction. So pressing the ball under the knuckle of the big finger, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky. Okay? Then you're going to go from the fingers towards the forearm. Now, the important part here is we don't return. So you go from fingers towards the fingertip toward the forearm and come back. We only going towards because what we are doing, we are stimulating here lymphatic drainage, okay, and we want that going in the direction as the ball is going. So going a few times, and don't worry if it feels tricky, especially I find it with the big ball. So you can just decide to go finger by finger. And then when you're done, just bring the ball back to the center and just wriggle. This is scribble even. Scribble around, scribble around, scribble around, scribble around. Very gently, very slight pressure. And you're finished. Put the balls aside. Take the same sit that you did on the other side. Whew. Notice how your hand is. Notice how the shoulder, so you're right, we've been working on the right side. If you worked on the left, do the same about your left side. How even your sit bones are on the left side, your right sit bone is. Just notice anything that might be different now to the left side. And we're going to now move on to the left side. I will take the small ball so you'll have the idea also how that works with the small ball. Okay, so starting, going into the very center of the pan, pressing a few times, medium pressure, and I'm going to do it in lifetime now. Then I'm going to the thumb pad, same pressure, like medium pressure. Going to go to the pinky pad, medium pressure. We can go to the middle between them right now. I did it on the other side, I did it after the rolling, but that's okay. And then I'm going to roll that little smile between the pinky pad and the thumb pad. So my fingers are anchored and I'm just rolling from side to side. And just notice the structure there. So for me there's a very gristly bit just in the center here. And you can just notice the structure. It might be sandy, gristly. You can even hear a little noise as you're going through this. Don't worry, once again, we're going for medium pressure. We're not trying to press the ball into the hand or through the hand even. And when you finish there, okay, you're going to bring the ball just under the thumb pad again. Anchor to the fingers and either wriggle that thumb, okay, or make little sharp movements with the fingers. It looks a bit like, I don't know, for some reason it makes me think of Adam's family hand there. Excuse me. Okay, finishing that, come to the mobilizing your joint. So bring the ball under the knuckle of the big index finger, middle finger, and you can feel free to press if you feel that it's okay for you. So the ring finger and then the pinky finger. You don't have to press. So we're going for medium pressure. Then we're going from the fingertips to the wrist or higher. You can go all the way up the forearm. Finger by finger, return the ball. Finger by finger, bring the ball back. And just a few times. And just sit comfortably. I should have sat a bit different. Okay, when you finish with that, gentle scribble all over the palm. Okay, come to sit. Notice both sides. Notice not only the hands, notice the shoulders. So I feel bigger distance between my ears and shoulders on both sides. So and grounded, more grounded. So the whole idea with fascia is that it's the connective tissue. The word connective, it really connects. It's our intranet. It helps us with our proprioception, meaning where our body is in space. But it also helps us with our interoception. It helps us sense temperature changes, our hunger, our respiration, our heartbeat. And it's the tissue that basically connects all and everything inside of us together with the world outside. Now we're going to move on to the feet, and up to you once again which ball you're going to use, whichever you have. So feet. Very similar to the hands, okay? I'm going to use the big ball to start and the small one to finish. on the other side. So you're going to first come on just in the very center of your foot and just press a few times in there. Medium pressure again, and feel free to come up to a wall if you need it. Then we're going to go just from that center just towards the inner arch and press a few times. Okay, this is a bit of reflexology points on your back, really. Don't worry about that, just a nice feeling right now. Roll up slightly towards the ball of the big toe and press a few times. You will sense it much more with the smaller ball, but once again, if this is the first time you're doing this, the bigger ball is advised. Come back to center, okay? Through the center of your foot, roll to the outside, so the outer edge of your foot. And once again, the bigger ball might be a bit funny, so my toes just lean forward even though I want them actually off the floor and my heel on the floor, but the bigger ball can be a bit awkward here. Okay, so the heel's on the floor, the outer edge of your foot pressured. Okay, from here you're going to bring the ball just above or below the heel, whatever you want to call it, okay? So that your toes are on the floor and you press in a few times. And especially for this one, feel free to be at the wall. A few times pressing in and releasing. And then we're going to, just like we did with the hand, roll from side to side. So draw a little smile. And here what you can do, you can start drawing the smile up towards the very end of the heel and then back down again. If you can control the ball. Don't worry if you can't. If you're first few times, it might be very tricky to do so. So just stay where you are and just roll the ball from side to side, lower, closer to the center of the foot. Okay, then you're going to bring, if the ball is high up, just bring it back to center, press in, take a breath in, and as your toes are grounded on the floor, just squibble a bit from side to side. Good. Then we're going to do, once again, rolling this time from toes towards the heel, and we always bring the ball back and go from toes towards the heel, never return the other way. So we're going from toes towards the heel, scoop the ball back, toes towards heel, scoop the ball back, toes towards heel, scoop the ball back, toes towards heel, scoop the ball back. A few times like so. And you can decide that you're going toe by toe. If you feel that's doable with the bigger ball, especially, might be a bit tricky. Whatever you want to do, you just go from toes, from the ball, really from the ball of each toe, down towards the heel, bring the ball back, and do that again. Okay, when you finish that, just a gentle squibble all over the foot. And then release that, come to Tadasana, just standing. Ooh. Noticing, and we should have actually done that one before, but we're going to compare now sides. Notice how is that right foot, how is that right hip, right shoulder. Notice where you can sense the difference. And you might feel more communication. So I feel actually that the tissues have come alive, and I feel a little tingle, tingle, not like in the nervous tingle, but the tingle as in aliveness on that right side. So we're going to go to do the left side, and once again I will move to the smaller ball just for you to have a visual. So to start, we bring the ball just in the very center of the foot. Okay, just in the very center of the foot. Try not to trip on the other ball. Now, so our heel is on the floor, and we press in and out a few times. Do not be afraid to breathe. Once again, this is medium pressure, so I'm not pressing through the foot. I'm not assaulting and accosting the tissues. I'm just pressing medially, medium intensity. Okay, then I'm going to move that ball, okay, towards the inner edge of the foot, and once again, just press in a few times. So here is working basically on the back, different parts of your spine. If we're working, if we were talking about reflexology, then you move your ball further up, just before the ball of the foot, ball of the big toe, and once again lean in and out a few times. Then bring it back to center, through the center over to the, I'm going to turn around there, through the outer edge, under the outer edge of your foot. Good. And then we're going to bring the ball to just below or above the heel, whatever you want to call it, okay, just before the heel begins. So the toes are on the floor. And once again, you're pressing and releasing a few times. And then you're drawing the smile. So the smiley face from side to side, the toes are anchored, and you might want to allow that ball to travel up and down the heel, if that works. If it doesn't, stay put and just do it on one side at the bottom of the heel. That's fine too. So whatever works for you. And don't get discouraged. If it doesn't want to travel with you, if the ball keeps escaping, just keep it in the spot that is working for you. Okay, then return back to center, just under the heel. Press in, breathe out, and squibble. So the toes are anchored. I'm just squibbling the ball in that central point. Okay, we're going to now move from the toes down towards the heel. From the toes towards the heel, back again. From the toes towards the heel, back again. From the toes towards the heel, back again. From the toes or even the ball of the foot towards the heel, back again. From the ball of the foot towards the heel, back again. And from the ball of the toes, back again. A few times. Okay, and last but not least, squibble, squibble, squibble. Just gentle squibble all over the foot. And when you finish that left one, it's sometimes nice to come back to the right one and do the same as a squibble. And just stand in your Tadasana. Notice how your Tadasana is. How is it that you're grounding through your feet? How are your shoulders? How are your hips? Even your neck? How are your ears in comparison? How's the distance between your ears and your shoulders? So you might notice, as I said before, you might notice those changes all across your body, and this is one of the best techniques to learn. Those two are one of the best techniques to learn in your myofascial release, because if you have an injury and you cannot work on a certain part of your body, those are the replacement. Okay, you can work on your foot instead of going for the hip that's been injured and needs reconvalescent. You can work on your hand instead of going up to the shoulder that has been injured and it's not ready yet for you to work there. Brilliant little techniques. Plus, desk, keep it in your drawer if you work in the office. Little ball or big ball, you can do the hand one anytime at work. Thanks so much for joining me. Hope to see you again. Namaste.